I'm now pleased to introduce you to our first speaker, Mr. Ben Rasmussen. Ben is a partner at the Northeast Minneapolis-based startup incubator, Twing Ignition. He is a current Northeast Bank board member and chairman of Northeast Securities Corporation, the parent company of Northeast Bank, and vice chair of the Walter C. Rasmussen-Northeast Bank Foundation. Ben was the former chief experience officer at local health insurance startup, Bright Health, and a former head of global support and services at Adobe. Ben is a North Hennepin Community College alum, where he majored in social sciences and then ventured on to earn a BA at Hamline University and an MBA from the Carlson School of Management. Please now let's welcome Ben Rasmussen to share his thoughts and wisdom on leadership this morning. Ben?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ben Rasmussen. This is a full circle moment for me, and I'm honored to be here to share some of my thoughts on leadership. I'd like to start off by asking everyone just a really simple, basic question to ponder on your own, answer to yourself. You don't need to shout it out loud. How many of you are completely comfortable with calling yourself a leader? It's a question I've heard asked at least 1,000 times, if not more, in leadership development programs I've attended, and one I've wrestled with throughout my career. And what I've come to realize is that we have made leadership into something bigger than us, something beyond us. We've made it about changing the world. We've taken this title of leader and treat it as something that one day we're going to deserve, especially as humble Minnesotans. But to give it to ourselves right now means a level of arrogance or cockiness that we're not comfortable with. And I worry sometimes that we spend so much time celebrating, especially in the age of social media and 24-hour news cycles, amazing things that hardly anybody can actually do, that we've convinced ourselves those are the only things worth celebrating. We start to devalue the things we can do every day. We take moments where we truly are a leader and we don't let ourselves take credit for it or feel good about it or comfortable with it. I've been fortunate enough over the last 25 years to work with some truly amazing people who helped me redefine leadership in a way that I think has made me happier and certainly more comfortable calling myself a leader. With my brief time today, I want to share with you one story that is probably most responsible for that redefinition. Take you back to September of 1992, and the first time I stepped foot on the campus of North Hennepin Community College. I will spare you all the gory details of what happened up to that point, but suffice it to say that there was a disagreement between yours truly and several higher education institutions with my quote unquote subterranean GPA. It was also 6 months after my father had passed away and I was lost. Honestly, unsure of myself and or whether or not I could finish what I had started in my educational journey. I was told by the Hamline University registrar that 3/4 of high quality work at North Hennepin would help me get in. So off I went. The class that changed my entire educational track, professional career, and life trajectory was a simple English class taught by this amazing, gregarious Bostonian named Conrad Belfour. For those of you that aren't familiar with Conrad, I really encourage you to Google him. He was a pioneer in human rights and did a stint as Minnesota Human Rights Commissioner in the early 70s, where he championed the rights of so many disadvantaged people. He fought for the little guy in a very big way. But it was his role as an educator, first at the University of Minnesota and then here at North Hennepin, where I believe his legacy lives on in so many of us that we're fortunate to have been touched by his leadership. It was halfway through our fall class term, a Wednesday, we'll say. We were reading The Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. Conrad came into class, but that day he wasn't his usual upbeat self. Instead, he sat down in the chair in the front of the class and said, "I'm sorry, but I'm just not feeling it today," in this thick Bostonian accent that maybe after a few more cups of coffee I might try, but I responded in my usual smart-ass way. "Come on, Conrad, it can't be that hard." Then he came back and said, If you think it's that easy, Ben, why don't you come up here and teach the class? It was in that moment I realized that I had an opportunity to really, for once in my life, put myself out there. It was also in that moment I realized somebody believed in me. So I did. The very next day, Conrad brought in an apple and set it on my desk and simply said, "Thank you." I clearly did not go on to be a teacher, but I did go on to Hamlin. I did go on to get my MBA from the Carlson School. I did go on to a career working at Anderson and McAfee and several other prominent Silicon Valley firms. And now I spend most of my days helping local entrepreneurs get their ideas off the ground at Twin Ignition, a startup garage in Northeast Minneapolis. It's scary to think of ourselves as that powerful, frightening to think we can matter that much to other people. As long as we make leadership something bigger than us, as long as we keep leadership beyond us and make it about changing the world, we give ourselves an excuse not to expect it every day from ourselves and from each other. I'm fortunate. Before Conrad passed in 2008, I was able to thank him by introducing him to my wife and 2 children. I was able to share with him what that moment of leadership meant to me. My call to action today is that we need to get over our fear of how extraordinarily powerful we can be in each other's lives. We need to get over it so we can move beyond it and start to value the impact we can have on each other's lives more than money and power and titles and influence. We need to redefine leadership as about those apple moments, how many of them we create, how many we acknowledge, how many of them we pay forward, and how many we say thank you for. Because we've made leadership about changing the world, and there is no world. There's only 7.8 billion understandings of it. And if you change one person's understanding of it, understanding of what they're capable of, understanding of how much people care about them, understanding of how powerful an agent for change they can be in this world, you've changed the whole thing. And if we can understand leadership like that, I think we can redefine leadership. I think we can change everything. And it's a simple idea, but I don't think it's a small one. And I just want to say thank you to North Hennepin Community College, the foundation board, and all of you here today for letting me share it with you.